All right, welcome back. Hello, everybody. Today is March 28th, Friday, March 28th, 2025. March is almost over. We are already 3 months behind past this year. We are already almost a quarter through the year already. And honestly, it feels like 10 years has passed since January, actually, for me. There's been some stuff that's happened that it feels like a lot of time has passed. Well, I, of course, am Addy, and we're gonna continue some work on the game that we've been working on. That sounds like a redundant statement. I did a little bit of work last night and the night before after I ended the stream. I actually managed to make some progress on the game, and you might notice a few differences. Like now we're starting inside. I added a little debug screen over here. Right now, the only message that the debug screen tells you is if the player is grounded or not. Because I was trying to add footsteps. I was trying to add a footstep sound to the game. And I was getting mixed results, and I thought maybe it had something to do with the fact as to whether or not the player was grounded. So let me pause the music and show you the results I got. It's odd because it's just odd. Okay, so first of all, you might hear the sound when, let me actually load this up. So you might have heard the sound as soon as we started the game. And then let me see, we come over here. So you can see, wait a minute. See, it's very inconsistent. Like, all right, I have another idea. I think what I want to do, I want to add, if I remember how to do this, what I want to add, so the script that actually controls the sound of the footsteps is this footstep audio script. And we can look at that here. And it's pretty simple. There's no tricks to it or anything. Basically, every update step, it looks to see if the player, actually, it only looks to see if the player is moving, because I thought maybe the grounded was an issue, because if you remember when we were working on the jump, there were issues with implementing a jump, right? So I thought that's why I commented out the is grounded. The grounded is what the AI suggested, and generally the AI is pretty good. But in this case, I just commented that out. So now I want to look at the controller velocity magnitude. I think that might be a good idea. So what I can do, how do I do this again? I don't remember. I got to remember how to do this. I have to add, was it a blank object? And then I add a text. No. I add a UI text mesh pro. And then I want to player velocity. All right. And then from there, all right, I just got to look at this. Okay, easy. One thing I was playing around with, like trying to get the HUD to be able to display it in the scene view, but you can't do it for some reason. You can't do it, which I find horribly inconvenient. Velocity. We'll just do the initial text with a bunch of question marks. We'll set the size. I think I set the other one to 18. Okay. And now I got to remember where we update everything. And I think there's a script somewhere. Where is it? right here, debug HUD. Yes. So grounded text. Okay, perfect. So I can just add it here. Public speed text. Excellent. If it's visible. Okay, and then I can add speed text here. Yeah, the AI. So velocity magnitude 2-string F2. Okay, so that's for the floating point measurement. And then I guess it's measuring in meters per second. And then to the script. Okay, come on. Come on. How long is it? I don't know why the computer has been acting very like weird and slow. Okay, so if it loads up this. Well, this is different. Wait a minute. What? There was somewhere I had to. It would make sense that I have to drag the player velocity to the script, but maybe it was done a different way. Let me look. I want to do this without AI because I want to remember. Okay, so here's the grounded text, which works. And I thought that was set. Okay, wait, let's see. We have canvas renderer. No. What has the script attached? There should be a debug HUD script. Would it be the HUD panel? Or is it on the player? Ah, it might be on the player. No. Or is it on the camera? Well, this is a debug manager. There it is. Speed text. Okay, so then I can do player velocity. I can do that. So now we should be able to view the player velocity. If we look at this, okay, let's let this play. So we can see there, speed 0, 0. Okay, well, this is interesting. For whatever reason, it only seems to register a velocity if I'm going up and down. Right? So if I jump, there's velocity. But if I'm just walking, it's showing speed of 0. Now, why would that be? Controller velocity magnitude. Is that what the footstep? Yeah, that's exactly what the footstep audio is using. So why? Okay, I think this is where we are going to ask AI because we're going to ask the AI. Now, we're not going to ask the AI in the IDE. We'll be asking this AI here. All right, I'm going to tell the AI everything I know. The property, yeah, we're going to call it a property. The property magnitude is only non-zero when moving vertically. How to get it to non-zero otherwise? Let's see what this says here. That's a common and sneaky behavior of Unity's character controller. The dot velocity property is only updated when you call controller move, and even then it only reflects the motion applied in the exact frame. You're probably using code like this. Yes, because that's what the AI told me to use. But it's always 0 moving horizontally unless gravity and vertical motion is happening. That's because controller move takes in your own calculated velocity, and Unity does not track acceleration the way a rigid body does. Fix. Track your own horizontal movement. Instead of relying on velocity, compute horizontal movement manually. Do I really want to do that? I mean, it's telling me here in the footstep behavior, play footstep. So what is the AI suggesting? Okay, so it's basically last position, and then this is just some type of look at the last position, look at the current position, take the difference. If it's 0, then right here. Ignore vertical movement. Is moving horizontally. Horizontal move. Magnitude. So I'm guessing magnitude is probably like the square root of the sum of the squares of the x, y, z. Yeah, that would make sense, right? Is grounded is grounded. Okay. I'm not crazy about this solution, but let's give it a shot. All right, so we already got some issues here, right? Like, oh, I know why we got issues. Because why did it not include you? I mean, okay, it's okay. All right, let me come over here. All right, let's see if this works, but there doesn't look to be anything we need to set, right? The step interval and the footstep clips we already had. So what it's doing, horizontal move equals transform dot position. Okay. Yeah. So it's basically getting the sum. It's getting a vector of the differences of the last position and the current position. It's setting the y to 0 because it wants to ignore vertical movement. And it's only looking at like x and z at the x and z axes. And then if there is movement on the x or z axis, magnitude is going to be greater. Yep. Okay. So this, I have a good feeling about this. Let's see. It's going to reload everything, which I kind of love that we don't have to restart everything. It has the, Unity has this hot reload feature. Okay. I mean, that's a pretty consistent footstep, if you ask me. The only issue is that there's one footstep that is kind of out of place. And that was kind of on purpose earlier when I was playing around with things. I was like, why isn't this working? Yeah, so I think what we can do is we can actually delete these ones that say gravel. At some point later on, we can we can change the footstep according to whether we're walking on like gravel or wood or whatever. I think for right now, what we'll do, let's see. Okay, so we have 1, 2, and then there's 3. I'm just going to put all these on here. 4, 5. There's 10 altogether. 6, 7. And there's no way to just like select a bunch of them and drag them, which I found highly, highly obnoxious. All right, so you have to do it. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see how this goes. Let's see what the footsteps sound like now. Okay, so there's a few little oddities. Like if I'm stuck. Wait a minute. Can you? I don't know how well if you can hear the footsteps or not, but they're. But if I get stuck on like a stair, you hear that? Oh, Razman is in the house. Did you declare an array or a list of steps in the audio? It was just an array. It's oh, I bet I know what's happening. Okay, I know what's happening. Okay, let me get back. So I think what's happening is when you're on the stair and there's probably it. Okay, yeah, there's a bug here. There's a bug here, and I can see the bug just by reading the code, and I believe that's why the footstep sounds there's times when they're being played really back to back. Like there's a step timer which is by default, it is, I think, a half a second. So that means that the steps should never play more than a half second close to each other, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, sounds very quick. But let's ignore that for a minute. Don't 1,000, 2, yeah, maybe it's fine. But the bug here is, let's say you're at a corner and you walk forward, you hit a wall, and maybe the physics pushes you up a little bit. You fall down, and then you walk forward, it pushes you up. And you're just kind of this constant. You walk forward, the physics pushes you up. You fall down, walk forward, up and down. Right. So what's happening is when you walk forward, you go into this loop, right? You go into this moving horizontally and is grounded loop. Okay, easy. And what was that noise? That was weird. Okay, so when you're moving forward, you get into this loop where it's going to play the timer. It's going to play the footstep sound. Now, that's when you walk forward. You hit the wall, physics pushes you up. So now what happens is this is false. So you hit here, and now the timer gets reset. And now you fall down a quarter second later and move forward again. So the footstep sound plays again. So that is the issue. So to fix that, what we need to do is yes, we can hear the footsteps. I'm glad you can hear the footsteps. Thanks, Razman. So what we need to do, how do we do this? Yes, it restarts the loop when the game object Y changes. Exactly. So, oh boy, I am exhausted. I'm like really exhausted. Okay, so what we wanted to do is, if you come up, we still want that step. We probably don't want to reset the step timer. Like, do we ever want to reset the step timer? I mean, we want to reset. We only want to do we ever want to set it to 0? Like, that's my first thought. I don't know if that's correct, but that's kind of like the first thing that comes to mind. Like, do we ever want to set it to 0? Why wouldn't we just always set it to, let's see. Okay. So I'm not able to reproduce it again. And honestly, I think the footstep logic sounds a lot better. Like, in general. So here's another weird thing. I think what's happening here is, I think you're just, whoops. So I think what's happening is it's hitting it. Well, at first I thought it was jumping down all the stairs, kind of like that. But if I just walk forward, it's definitely hitting the stair. And I would think when it hits the stair, it should move forward. But you know what? It might. No, it should. I would think it should play as long as the timer has expired. Let's look at it. If you hit the stair, step timer equals the minus. If the timer is less than 0, or yeah, I find it odd that because if you look at this closely, what's happening, the body is actually touching the stair as it's falling down the stairs, right there. And I would expect it to play the sound, because what would happen when it hits that middle stair, the horizontal magnitude coordinates have changed. They should be non-zero. They should all change. It should change, since it's changed, you are grounded when you touch the stairs. You moved horizontally. The timer should be less than 0, so it should play the footstep. I find it odd that it's not. Why would it? Whoa. Okay. Why would it not? And here's another weird thing. We go outside, it still sounds like we're walking on wood. So how could we fix that? So the AI suggested early on that you use like a raycast or something, right? That you would, let me get down there. That you would use a raycast just pointing down to see like what you were over top of. But the question of how do you know what you are over top of, that is interesting. I also should note that I fixed the issue with the door that was opening up mysteriously, where it was like opening up and into the wall. So that's fixed now. All the door logic of all the doors, they should be consistent. And all the doors should open the same way. So basically all the bathroom doors, they should all open into the bathroom. And I'm just now noticing right now that none of these apartments have showers. Well, in the story that we're writing for this game, like a family of a father, a wife, a grandfather, and 2 kids, a family of 5 live in a single apartment. So yeah, it's going to be hard times with that one little single bed. I guess maybe they put some cots out at night in the kitchen or something, but ideally we'll have another model at like when it gets to like the end of the game. Or, you know, in a more polished GA, you're going to have to use a singleton pattern. Razman, you are a fan of the singleton pattern. You're going to have to use a singleton pattern so that the same loop will continue to play if it's interrupted by other actions like climbing, jumping, or shooting. No, I don't see why a singleton pattern would be necessary there. I think you have a little crush on the singleton pattern. I think that's what's happening here. No, but seriously though, I don't see why that would be. I mean, the logic's pretty basic, right? It's just like if you're moving horizontally, if you're moving horizontal, why can I not speak? If you're moving horizontally and you're on the ground and the timer is adjusted, then I mean, if the timer is within the time that you said, you know what? Maybe that's why. Actually, it could be the fact that the timer, like when I'm doing that fall down the stairs thing, maybe I actually am not, maybe that's not a half second. Like it's possible. So what we can test that theory easily enough by not doing that, by simply shortening the timer, right? Can we do that without, I want to do that without restarting. Where is it? There's a footstep script. Oh wait, it was there. I think it was there. Come here. Yeah, 0.5. Let's change it to 0.1. So that should, yeah. You hear that? Okay. So let's see. Yeah, see, exactly. So that's exactly why it wasn't playing, is because the timer was just too big. And so we can live with that. Oh, yes, I know. I constantly want to do that. So, oh, but you know, it's going to actually, another reason that it might be playing it right now, that even though I've changed the timer back to a half second, it's going to be very dependent on the time, right? Like if the last time it played the sound was like right here at the edge, then maybe you fall. Maybe you fall in less than a half second, which is why it doesn't hit, which is why it doesn't play when you hit the stairs. But if the last time it played it was right here, let's see. No, because as soon as I move forward, it's going to play. So you would have to time it so that it plays it like right as you leave. See, that time it did not play it when I hit the stairs. So it's going to be very dependent on when you actually start the fall. Okay. So that is good. So let's go ahead and commit that code. So what did we change? Oh, that might actually be me adding the game. That's me adding the speed, which actually I don't think I need. I don't want to add that now. So let me delete that. So this player velocity, because it didn't work to begin with. So let's go ahead and delete it. Okay. So now let me save, because Unity is oh my God, Unity. God, Unity. It has the weirdest, just like the oddest save behavior. It drives me nuts. It literally just, it infuriates me because it's very unintuitive. Like if you're like a programmer, it's very unintuitive. All right. You better start using singletons now, right now. You only have a few interactions. Dude, calm down with the singletons. Like, I mean, but when you change scenes and getting hit by projectiles and stuff is going to be hard to track all. Like, give me an example. Give me a concrete example. Give me like a specific example of what you're talking about. All right, let me do this. The debug HUD. Yeah, this is, I added the speed actually, so I can just discard these changes. And then this is the footstep audio where, yeah, we changed that script. Actually, let me delete this code right here. All right. Fixed the footstep sound logic. All right. Commit and done. Like if I guess I'm failing to see where a projectile would necessitate a singleton pattern, because let's say I fall. Okay, boom. Like I get shot and I have to fall. I'm going to be moving horizontally, but I'll be moving vertically. So yeah. So I mean I don't know. I'm failing to see where singletons are necessary. Singleton patterns, they're not like a magic bullet, and you got to be careful with them because the singleton patterns themselves can get out of hand very quickly, very quickly. Okay. Now, mind you, I am not a Unity programmer, as you know, as I've stated, and as like I haven't tried to pretend that I am, but I don't see where a singleton pattern would really be necessary. Like maybe like a player object, but you kind of have like inherent singleton patterns with the objects here. Like this player up here, this player game object, it itself is kind of a singleton, right? Because it's not as though I can instantiate another player that has a main camera and a first person and third person position of those. Like I can't, I can't, like I said, I can't instantiate another player. So this is in itself kind of like an instantiated variable that is just one of, hence a singleton. The same with the terrain. So you can, I mean, these are kind of, the game objects are interesting because like from like a conceptual slash philosophical point of view, because they're kind of like types, but they're also kind of like variables, right? Because you're defining like think of it like the difference between like a class and an object. Like an object is an instantiated type of a class. And so these game objects, they're kind of like that. Like you're defining the object, you're defining the class as you define the instantiated object, kind of like it's like some hybrid. It's like a hybrid. But like I said, it's not as though or maybe I can, I don't know. Like in some other, I don't think I can, but like in some other class, like in some other script, can I instantiate a player? Maybe I can. I don't know. I don't see why you would, but they kind of are already like singletons. Ugh. So it's Friday night. I'm going to go a little crazy. And I'm going to show you how I'm going a little crazy. You want to see how I'm going a little crazy? Whoa. Another soda. Another. I've had this is an extra one. Now this is also my third. Well, this is also my third bottle of one of these waters. So I'm going to have to finish this to dilute this because somehow in my mind that saves my kidneys. I don't know how. It's like if I wake up in the morning and my pee smells, I don't like it. But if I wake up in the morning and it's like diluted and there's like no odor or minimal odor, then I know I drank well the day before. This is going to be a little one. When you want to switch scenes and want to keep your inventory, you will remember me. If I want to switch scenes, I mean, you might. I mean, maybe. Again, I don't think there's a single. Well, let's see. How would you? I'm not even sure how you would do that. I mean, you could do a singleton, but a singleton feels lazy. Honestly, if I'm being honest, a singleton feels lazy. But sometimes lazy is good. Let's see. So you obviously wouldn't pass this player game object back and forth, right? You would want to play, you would want to pass in like stats, like your health and everything. And honestly, like the stuff that the player has, like the health, the inventory, like I don't know how to pass data between scenes like that. So maybe the passing of that data necessitates a singleton, maybe, but conceptually, I don't see why it would, right? Like let's say like because you were talking about like interrupted interactions, but when you change scenes by getting hit by projectiles and stuff, it's going to be hard to track it all. You could just have a player class and you could instantiate the player. Like I don't understand why it needs to be a singleton, right? And like I can actually think of an argument against a singleton in that case. Like if you had a player class that had like health in inventory, right? Let's just take those two things. Well, you wouldn't want it to be a singleton because what if you want to make your game multiplayer? So you would just so that's why I'm not following the logic of I mean maybe we'll just have to agree to disagree. I don't think a singleton is necessary there. Again, but I don't know how to pass. Let's think about, well, let's ask AI. Okay. Okay. In Unity, if a player has properties like health, and inventory, how would I pass these properties from one scene to the next? I am going to guess before I look this up. Here's going to be my guess. So I have a script that says scene loader. Let's look at it. So here I am just doing screen manager load scene. I am going to guess that this load scene, I'm going to guess that it takes optional arguments. That would be the easy way to do it. Like, and you could just give it a class, give it an object, right? But I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what you. Great question. I don't know what's up with ChatGPT lately, like with the encouragement. Like, yeah, you're doing it. Oh, look at this. Don't destroy, unload a singleton. Wow, Razman. Okay. Create a game object, player data, attach a script. Okay. I'm waiting for the singleton. Player data instance. Ah, here it is. Player data instance. There it is. And then you get the wait. If instance equals null, don't destroy, unload. Oh, very nice. Okay. All righty. Well, I guess this attach a script like this. Create a game object called player data. Okay. Attach a script like this. Interesting. All right. So it has this awake. I guess that is at the beginning of the scene. If the instance is okay, in other scripts, access it like this. Player data. Okay. So you necessarily, so this is one way to do it. Use a singleton, a do not destroy, unload singleton. Option 1. Option 2, scriptable objects. Create as a file name, player stats. Let's see. Scriptable objects are Unity assets that hold data and they persist independently of scene loading. Create a player stats SO, scriptable object. Health, list of inventory. Create a player stats asset in the Unity menu. I got to be honest, I like this better. I like this seems more reasonable. I like this better because this singleton pattern here, this necessitates that you do this entire like instantiation, which is one thing I've never really liked about singletons. Like you got to do this whole like song and dance. And in this case, I understand that awake, I guess that is like some type of API that's going to get caught just by virtue of mono behavior being part of the Unity engine. But in the real world, you constantly have to, like, you're constantly doing this check. Like in the real world, when you do a singleton, you'll do something like config instance, right? Config instance, and then get, I'm doing C++ syntax, get value option, right? Option A. And so, but what's happening under the hood is you're doing if this instance not equals, see, the AI is kind of trying to help me out. But the AI doesn't understand. I'm just typing in an example. But what you're doing under the hood is you're doing this. No, this is C++, but it's still applicable to C#. What are you doing? You're doing this if this instance equals new thing, right? Else, and then what would you do? But okay, but I've already typed out what I don't like about it, right? Again, in this awake, what I'm about to say is not applied because the awake only gets called once. But in the real world, when I'm calling this all the time, let me make this bigger. When I'm calling this config instance get value, that's how I'm going to be using this. That's how I'm going to use the singleton in my program. And then, somewhere else, config instance get option B. Thank you, AI. But can you see what I don't like about this? What is going on? Why is that's weird. Why is my autocomplete not auto-completing? Okay, they did that time. But do you see what I don't like about this? Because remember, I'm going to be calling this all over the place. I'm going to be using this singleton all over the place. And remember, what is it doing under the hood? This instance, I guess this instance itself would be a function. So the instance would be function instance. It's going to be a static. Oh, come on. Why can I not type? All right. This is actually a little too big. So, come on. What is wrong with my tab? Oh my God, my tab, it's like my tab is stuck. I don't understand why my tab is stuck. It's what is going on? Okay, I'm going to have to do this a terrible way. I'm going to have to use multiple cursors and then just do this. Okay, so this instant function is what I'm calling up here. This would actually have two little parentheses because this is actually a function. Now, I'm going to be calling this code all over, and yes, I know I could call instance once and put it into a temporary variable. Your tab was destroyed by the power of singleton. No, but I'm being serious. This is what a singleton pattern looks like in C++, somewhat, right? Actually, it's going to have down here, it's going to have this, and then here you would just return, right? The tab is not working and it's driving me nuts. Okay, so this is what the function instance is doing. It's doing if this instance is not equal to null pointer, return this. And that's how you get the pointer to a config and then up here. So have you figured out what I don't like about this? Have you figured out why if Razman was working for me and he was calling this in performance critical code, why I would be like, no, figure out another way to do it. Do you see why? Okay, I'll tell you why. It's this right here. What about that do I not like? Tell me. Come on, Razman, tell me. What about that do I not like? What I don't like about it is that, thanks for the lesson. Actually, that's what I started following you to know how the senior thinks. So what I don't like about this is that every time you call instance, you're doing a comparison. That comparison in performance critical code, that comparison is you might think, oh yeah, it's just a comparison. That comparison, that's clock cycles. That is clock cycles that you're spending every time you're trying to get a config value. And if you're doing that and yes, I know there's things you can do, right? Like you can put the config into a temporary variable, or you can put the options into a temporary, like there's a million things you can do. But it lends to this kind of like problematic pattern where if you're calling this in lots of places in performance critical code, these comparisons that get called every single time, they add up. They do add up and they can hurt performance. Is it 0 in? Well, this isn't really like a for loop or anything. This is just constant time. But it's a matter of like 3 instructions versus 5 instructions, right? Like when you break it down into assembly code, you're going to have like 2 extra instructions for this if comparison. Even if you skip over it, you're going to have like 1 or 2, but they add up. And like sometimes in like when you're talking about high performance systems, these little instructions, they matter. Like you might think, and this is how junior developers will often think. They'll think like, oh, it's just a comparison. It's not a big deal. But it's like, no, it's a big deal. It can be a big deal. So that's what things like that like that's one reason that like I'm like the singleton pattern like and then like another thing is like another reason I don't like the singleton pattern is say you had a class that you wanted to do a unit test on, and that class depends on a couple of options. And in the class, you have this config instance. Let's say you're doing this. Well, now suddenly you have to bring in everything that the singleton class wants and needs. So it's like, okay, I got the right to say is not a big deal. Yeah, I mean, maybe sometimes it isn't. So in the C# instance of what I'm going to get back to, I want to know why my tab isn't working. I'm going to quit out of Visual Studio Code and go back in and see if that helps. Okay, That did help. Okay, good. Okay, whatever weird state Visual Studio Code got into, it's out of. But what I was saying is, even so, maybe like an option 1 here, it's not a big deal. Because it looks like the instance construction and that if statement, which is the equivalent of what I was talking about, is right here. That if statement only occurs on the awake call, which I'm guessing is a predefined API call that is probably defined in mono behavior, and it gets called when the scene starts. So it might not be a big deal there. Okay, so that's one way to do it. The scriptable objects. So I kind of like this better because this looks like you can kind of just drag things. And I like the act of dragging. Like this looks like you can just drag it onto a sign or read from the scripts. It stays between scenes automatically. Create player stats asset via the Unity menu. Create a player stats scriptable object. I'm a little confused to how that works, but I think I like it better, mostly because it's not using the singleton pattern, but it's using and it's more modular and it has inspector friendly data, which is also good. Use a static class, which is basically a poor man's singleton pattern, right? I mean, it's kind of the same thing. Yes, it's just like a global variable. Yes, it is. So bonus saving between play sessions. That's another thing I was wondering about. If let's say you want to serialize to a JSON file. It looks like there would be several ways to do it. Recommendation for your game. For your horror game with family NPCs, inventory, and survival, I recommend the DDL singleton plus a scriptable hybrid object. Use a singleton player data to track runtime state. Use a scriptable object to store base stats and persistent profiles. Interesting. Okay, well, anyway. All right, so where were we? I completely forgot where we were. Did I check everything in? Yes, I did. And we fixed the... Let me see something here. How does it cycle through the... I want to see how it cycles through the array. Okay. So it pulls out a random clip. I like that. Okay, that's good. That's good because then the footsteps, they sound random. Yeah. It's kind of starting to feel like a real game, isn't it? I mean, the footsteps add quite a bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? I almost want to say character. I think the game is still a little too non-plus or a little too nondescript to have character, but it's like starting to get a little bit. I mean, this is a great game already. But you can see that, like, I fixed all the doors. You can walk in. And then if we go downstairs, you can see that these doors also work. Grounded false while walking the stairs. Yes, it is. And I think, yeah, it's because, well, this is one thing I do want to look into is so that staircase I can walk up just by pressing the walk forward key. This staircase, though, I always get stuck. So I'm not sure what is different. I'm guessing it's the height of that first stair. Oh, it got stuck. So actually, that was a question I did want to ask the AI. Okay. In my game, I have some stairs. The player gets stuck on some of them. How can I change the height of which a player can walk up without having to jump? If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Are you not using raycast for your ground check? No, the ground check is just a built-in mechanism. If the model is touching the ground, then you're walking, then you're grounded. Okay, fix. Use the step offset property of the character controller. Oh, okay. Select your player object in the hierarchy. In the inspector, look for character controller component. Okay, here it is, yeah. Step offset, 0.03. Let's change it to 0.06. Let's actually... Oh, no, switch to raycast. Ask AI about it. But why? Why? Let me see. I need a good reason. And because it's better is not a good reason. Okay, let me see. Let's see if this fixes the stairs. Okay, so that seems to have fixed the stairs. But when he's walking down the stairs, the ground it turns to false because he's falling. It's like, you ever especially like when you're younger, you're walking down a bunch of stairs and you kind of, you jump down them. I used to love doing that. I would do that at work. And you know what I used to do a lot of, like when I was, I've basically had two jobs two professional computer programming jobs in my life. At America Online, and first in the early half of my career, and then my current position that I've had for the second half of my career, pretty much. And I had a few other jobs, but none of them lasted very long. It took me a while to find what I wanted. But I remember at AOL when I don't know what it was. I was seated on the second floor, and I'd always had to go up to the sixth floor. And every time I took the elevator down to the second floor, which in retrospect I should have just walked, but I would take the elevator down to the second floor, and the elevator had a very fast, 0 to falling. I don't know what it was, but it seemed very fast. It was faster than usual. And I would get in and I would press the button for the second floor. And as soon as it started to move, I would jump. And if you do that, of course, it extends you. You kind of you're floating in air for a second. Whoa, look at me. Razman says, because your best friend Razman said so. Well, our Rain Man. I'm going to say your best friend Rain Man said so. Oh, excuse me. It's not even Razman. It's Razmin. Are you more than one man? Oh, excuse me. Switch to raycast to see if you're grounded. I don't know. If the current mechanism starts to fall short, then well, you know what? Okay, let's do this, because I do have there are footsteps. If you look over here on the left-hand side, there's footsteps sound effects for grass, gravel, leaves, mud. There's all kinds of them. So maybe we can AI had suggested using a raycast to see what type of floor I'm on. Okay. The footstep logic. So what I'm going to do is let's do that tonight. Let's work on getting footstep sounds for different materials that you're working on, and maybe that will lend itself to using raycast to see if you're on the ground. Okay. The footstep logic is working. However, I have no way of knowing. I have no way of changing the sound based on what I'm walking on. How can I tell, or what is a good way? What is a good way to tell what type of floor I'm walking on? I believe you earlier suggested using a raycast. Is Rasmin the name? The name is Raziel Mendoza, not because of plural of men. Rasmin. Raziel Mendoza. That is a very Latino name. It's all right. It's a very Latino name, just like my name. Super Latino. Super. I swear, people, like, I'll call up my doctor's office or I'll call up somewhere, and I have a very, let's just say it, I have a very white sounding voice, I think. I sound like a very stereotypical American white guy. Because I pretty much am, and then I sometimes I'll just get like pauses, like when people ask for my name and I tell them my name, because it's not like, you know, Adam Smith, John Clark, Dave Mark Thomas. I don't know why Dave Mark Thomas is 3 first names, but you know what I'm trying to get at. Like I don't have I have an unusual sounding name for my voice, I think. Okay. Strategy. Raycast down to detect surface type. Each surface type, wood, concrete, dirt, is represented by a tag, layer, or custom script. Every frame you're moving and ground it, raycast down. Based on what the ray hits, play the matching footstep. Step-by-step implementation. Add the surface identifiers. This is what I was curious about. Set your floor game objects with tags like wood, concrete, and metal. Okay. So, this is going to be a little challenging with the, this was something else I learned how to do. I think I learned how to do this last night, to actually be able to move around like in a first person view. Okay. So I should be able to just come here and select, no. Is there a floor? Okay, those are doors, lights, props, windows. Huh. What is this? Outwall. What is SO1? Huh. Excuse me. Huh. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to delete stuff to try and figure out what it is, right? Like, where is this? Okay, I think I'm about to get below it. No. Is 0 the first one? Okay, let's just delete it and see. Okay, well, wait a minute. Okay, I think if I tag that... yeah, I think I should be able to tag that. So how do I tag? That is another question. Okay, so this thing right here I want to tag. How do I tag? Set your floor game objects with tags like wood, concrete, metal. Okay. Okay, how do I tag? I mean, it would be nice if there was something over here that just said tag. Oh, tag! Untag. Add a tag. Okay. Tag list is empty. Okay. How? Okay. Plus. New tag name. Wood floor. I'm going to do one word. Okay. Perfect. Now. Wood floor. Can you not add more than one tag to things? Okay, maybe you can. No, you can't. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Okay, so that was that. I think that'll work. Now for S1. Maybe that'll work. Okay, Control Z. Let's add the tag. Wood floor. What is S2? And here's the... Huh. Nope. Okay, so that here, LD0, we need to add a new tag. Add tag. Concrete floor. One word. Okay. And how would I add it? Oh, I guess I can add a tag to the terrain, right? Add tag. We'll just call it gravel. Okay. And then terrain. We'll add gravel. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We've done that. We have done that. That is good. We got that. Also, AI forgot to mention when you are jumping on platforms, raycasting is more prescience. Prescience. I'm not even sure what that word is. Prescience? Prescience? Presciencia? I'm just assuming that's what the word is in Spanish because it sounds like, one thing, like I've noticed that the more your vocabulary, the better your vocabulary gets in Spanish, the better you are able to tell when words in English are just the Spanish equivalent. So, even if you don't know the word, you're like, oh, wait, no, I'm pretty sure apartment is departamento. Yeah, it is. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So, okay, now we've used tags. Let's see. Modify your foot audio script. Okay, what is it doing? Concrete steps. Wood. Okay, that makes sense. Carpet steps. No. What if I want to, honestly, this seems like it would be a good use case for an array of an array. Maybe. No, not really. Okay, that's a bad idea. That's a dumb idea. Concrete steps, wood steps. Okay, so it's literally just 3 different arrays, which I'm not crazy about, but I'll work with it. Play footsteps. Get random. Okay, surface type. Detect surface type. So it has array going straight down. I guess it goes down 2 meters at most. Ground layers. Surface identifier component. Well, wait a minute. Does that require... That requires me to attach the Wait a minute. Oh, I like this. Oh, I like this. Oh, I like this a lot. Custom script with an enum. That seems a lot better because then I can just attach that. Yeah, we're going to go with that. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. Okay, surface identifier. No. Attach. Okay, surface identifier script. So we're going to go new. We're going to go create mono behavior script. Okay, surface identifier. .cs. I do not like how it hides the .cs. I am not a big fan of that. Oh my God. Come on. Okay, so we can just do this. Oh, I gotta have this right here. Okay, so we want concrete. We'll just go with concrete and wood for now. No, we might as well do dirt. All right, we'll just do dirt. Okay, so now... Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Okay, so let's see. I can do this right here. So I can attach that to this. No? Okay, do I drag it over? No, wait. No, over here, and then I should be able to drag it over here, and then I select it, right? So that is concrete. That is already set. Okay, so then we had these two, right? So this one here, I want to drag that here, and then I want to change it to wood. Easy, easy. Surface identifier to that. Okay, and then change that one to wood. Okay, and then the terrain, and then I drag the surface identifier to the terrain, and then I select dirt. Excellent. Oh my God, we are hacking the matrix. Oh my God, we are hacking. We are doing some matrix hacking tonight, boys. Okay. All right. Razman says, wait, Razman, now you're in another window. It says, how was your birthday? Didn't I talk? I thought I talked about this on Wednesday. My birthday. Let's just say it's been a rough week. It's been a really rough week. It's been a rough week. My birthday was good until about 2:30 p.m. on Monday. It started, because I was getting the birthday phone calls, the birthday text messages, and the birthday Facebook messages. I'm like, hey, happy birthday. And it was like a big birthday, too. It was a big one, right? It was a big 5-0. And I'm sorry, the big 3-5. I was turning 35. Like, whoa, could you imagine? Like me, like so old at 35, like gross. Like, ew. I don't know why I just turned into a Valley girl. So it was good. Like my daughter, she came over. She was in town, and so she came over, and I was getting upset with her. Like I know she did this on purpose because she likes to fuck with me like this. Because my daughter's an adult. Like my daughter's 31 years old. She's gonna be 32 in July, and it's like 12 because we had been texting. And she told me she was going to come over, and I'm like, hey, a couple days before, I was like, what time do you think you'll be over my birthday? And she's like, oh, I'll probably be over like late morning, early afternoon. I'm like, okay, cool. And it's like 11 o'clock rolls around, still no message from her. 11:30, no message. 12 o'clock, no message. 12:30, no message. And I'm like, she better call me. She better at least call me. Like if she's going to cancel coming over, okay, I'll be disappointed, but I'll live with it. But she better at least call me. If she doesn't want to be written out of the will, she will call me. And then like 12:45 till like 12, sometime between 12:30 and 1 o'clock, she showed up. She just showed up, and she did it on purpose. Like that's what she didn't call. She wanted me to think that she had forgotten or something. But so she showed up, and it was good, and we were just hanging out, and it was just her, me, and my wife, and we're just hanging out, talking, catching up. She's a programmer like me. Obviously, she's like a mid-level engineer now. So we're just talking, and then around 2:30, I get a text message from one of the guys who reports to me at work. Because I don't really program so much at work these days. I say that I program programmers, but that's not entirely true, because I would say that I spend probably about 30% of my time programming. The other 70% is in design meetings and architectural meetings and management meetings and just, that kind of BS. But then I get this text message 2:30 from one of my guys, and he's like, what's going on? And there was a bunch of stuff that happened at work. And, so it's just, ended up being a sad day. Not so much for me, but for a lot of other people, which just kind of was a crappy day. Anyway, that was my birthday. That's how it went. I don't know why you're over in the mobile stream though, Razman. Oh, you're not anymore. Okay. Looks like you did leave. Okay. What were we doing? Okay. We were doing the Raycast. Okay. So AI is saying, okay, so we have this nice little surface script. I like that. I am going to, we can't just copy and paste this, right? So we're going to have to kind of just modify it ourselves. But we can... It shouldn't be that big of a deal. This whole two references thing, I'm not sure how to disable that. And it's kind of driving me nuts. Two references, I don't need that. I guess it's nice. Okay. Audio controller last and step. Audio source controller last. I don't know why it changed the order, but these look the same. Why do I need a layer mask? What is layer mask doing? Because what did we change? We changed... Well, we removed the step timer reset, right? And then there was something else we changed. Wasn't there? Maybe that was the only thing. Didn't we change how we detected a horizontal move? Oh my God, I have no memory. Like, that was literally just like 20 minutes ago. No, maybe that was the only... Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, horizontal move right there. Let's see. Did the AI take that into consideration? It did. Okay, so we might be able to just kind of use this. I don't know why the AI kind of... Look at this. Like, it renamed variables. Instead of horizontal move, it's just move. That's weird. All right. And then, so we changed the way it detects the movement, which it did as well. All right. So I think, honestly, we can just kind of copy this, paste it in. But wait a minute before I do that. We are going to have... Okay, yep. We can just paste that in. This is another thing that the AI is doing. It's driving me nuts. I don't know why it's doing this. Okay, so we can do that. And then we can just remove this. Easy. Rasmin says, Raziel Mendoza says, also, I don't know why AI is recommending you to use public members instead of serialized fields. What is the difference? Are serialized fields is just like if I need to like serialize the class to like a JSON file or from a JSON file, does it make it easier? Is that it? Okay. So let's see. We had concrete, wood, and dirt. Concrete, wood, and dirt. Step interval, ground layers. I still don't know what the ground layers are doing. Oh. What is the purpose of this ground layers? Is it private? Okay, it's not private. Okay, so wait, I must be setting it. Set ground layers to include the layer your floors are on. Oh, wait a minute. Serialized fields are private. Good for preventing other scripts to... Yeah. I'm not super worried about encapsulation, though. I mean, I guess. But I'm not super worried about encapsulation. There doesn't seem to be a lot of, like, scripts referring to other scripts. At least not yet. I'm not super worried about it. All right. I want to read ahead. Wait a minute. Set it up in the editor. On any floor or terrain mesh, add a surface identifier component. Done. Choose the appropriate surface type. Done. In the footsteps audio script on the player, fill in concrete with... Okay, we did that. Set ground layers to include the layer your floors are on. I don't understand that part. I don't understand that. Set ground layers to include the layer your floors are on. Set ground layers to include the layers your floors are on. How do I know what flare my layer blah blah. How do I okay. Grasman says right here next to this. But if I add a layer, what does that do? What is the point of this? Okay, terrain. Is it just like a tag? Well, then why do I need a layer? I attach the script to it. I attached the script to layer. I attached the script to terrain. Here it is, surface type called dirt. So why do I need a layer at all? Right? Because the raycast is casting down. It's going to hit a terrain thing. The terrain thing is going to be convertible to a surface identifier because a surface identifier script is attached to it. So why do I need I don't think I need the ground layer. I did another raycast in the I'm going to be bold. I don't think I need the ground layer. Let me look. Okay, where did door interaction? So we had ray out and then distance. Ray out hit distance. Okay. Perfect. So I am going to get rid of this. I'm going to comment out this. I don't think I need it. Dirt. It's the only thing I need. Dirt. It's the only thing I need is dirt. That's all I need, boys. I just need some dirt. Okay. All right. So now I can go to the player and I can go to the footsteps mod in the player or the footsteps script in the player. Footsteps audio. Perfect. So we have wood steps. Oh, excuse me. See, this is what drove me nuts, right? This is what drove me nuts. Is I can't, because if I can click all of these, I can highlight all of them, but as soon as I click back on the player, they get unselected. And I can't. Oh, wait a minute. No, I can't select them without the inspector changing. Can I? Oh, well, let me attach it to something. I don't know what it let me attach it to, but so I have to, can I just do, there's no way that I can figure out the only way to do this. Okay. So this is wood. I have to do it one at a time, which is obnoxious. This means I'm going to have to do 30 different of these. What if I use control instead of shift? No luck. Okay, what if I do copy? There is no copy. What if I'm just curious if there's a copy up here. Okay, there is a copy. I mean, yes, I know copy is control C, but I was just curious. Now, can I paste them? No, paste is blanked out. Ah! Mayam? All right. No, everything okay? All right. So I can do... So I just have to drag one by one. I'm not going to do all of them. I'll do 5 for each one for now. So that was wood. We'll go to concrete. We don't have a concrete. We'll do snow. Oh my gosh. Snow hard walk. Okay, no, we want a regular snow. Okay. I don't know why snow and concrete go together, but they're going to go together here. Okay, easy. Oh my gosh, I already messed the order of them up. This is going to bother me. I have to fix the order here. This is 4 is going to go here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, perfect. And then, of course, the wood steps. Oh, we got the wood. The dirt steps. Wait a minute. No. I can't even do it here? Really? I can't drag? Oh, my stars and garters. Why? Copy. Can I paste them in here? Of course I can't. Why would I be able to do that? Why would I be able to do that? Now, why would I be able to do that? Okay, concrete. Okay. No. Snow is going to be dirt. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then concrete, which is the top of the... concrete's going to be metal. I just want to make sure that I have distinct sounds that I can hear the difference in, right? Because we just want to... Oh, my stars and garters. Really? Okay, okay, there we go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. You are killing me today. Today is do the opposite of what Razman says. Oh, you haven't told me, like, why do I need a layer? So you can have a wood wall? I can have a wood wall without having to put layers on everything. All right, let's see what we got. Also, in your ground type enum, you need to add titties. I do not need to add titties. Okay, I'm walking on wood. I'm definitely walking on wood. Okay. Let's go up to the That sound changed. Is it just the echo or the reverb? I'm not sure. All right, let's jump on the ground down here. It's working. I don't need layers. Say I'm walking in snow. You hear that? And then I open the door and I go inside. Can you hear me? I'm walking in snow. I knew I didn't need layers. The only issue might be I can't tell if that's different. I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. Let's So that's the roof, which is concrete, which is metal. That's the roof, which is concrete, which is metal. Okay, let's tile. Let's try gravel. Maybe gravel will sound different. 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course, number 5. All right, let's try that. Also, in your ground type enum, I already read that. I don't know why I need to add titties to my ground type. I think you mean titles, but I don't know why I need. I'll look at that in a second. Well, okay. So that is obviously happening because the model is not like, yeah. So what I selected is the way the model is set up. It's like it includes the walls and the ground, and it's like, yeah. So I guess part of the roof is this or something. Yeah, I understand why that's happening. I would have to go through and like create like a layer myself. I mean, that legitimately sounds like a roof. And then if I go down here, it sounds like I'm walking in snow. Now, of course, I need a running sound, but we'll worry. The running sound will be pretty easy. Obviously, it's just a detection of the horizontal speed and having more arrays. I have to say I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add the other sounds. All right, so gravel walk. Okay, so easy, easy, easy. All right, we can do it. Easy. Okay, wood is wood. Okay. Okay, and we're going to go to walk, and we just got to start at 6. Okay. All right, we got that. 7, 8, 9, and of course, we cannot forget 10. All righty. Now, dirt is snow. Regular snow. Okay, so we have, wow, we got a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we got one more, 12. All right, let's check it all out now. Let's see how it goes. I knew I didn't need a layer. I knew it because I'm a genius. Of course, this is going to be an issue, right? Like, I understand why it's happening. It's just kind of funny right now. Maybe there's gravel on the stairs. You don't know. Maybe this is like a really messy place. And why is that door open? Perfect. This is excellent. All right. Let's save this. All right. So we have the game Unity, the footsteps script changed, the tag manager, which we could probably do without. Right? Well, wait. Where would the layers be stored? Oh, wait. I never added a layer because I don't need the layers. I'm going to actually, excuse me, I'm going to remove these. Yes. Cannot, oh, I got to remove them. Okay, so terrain. untagged. And then this will also be untagged. This, you guessed it, untagged. And now we'll go to the tag store and we'll remove those. Okay. There we go. Easy. Perfect. I run a tight ship. I run a tight ship with my tags. That tag manager, yep. Oh, the tag manager, CLI's version. No, I'm not sure why that's there, but let's just put it in anyway. Surface identifier, yes. Yes. Okay. Adding floor types. And it mostly works, right? Like it doesn't completely work, but it mostly works. It mostly works, I think. All right. I'll tell you, it's starting to feel like a real game. The one thing I wanted to see why this door, I wanted to see why this is open. So, all right. So I have to select that. 0, -90. Close rotation. So it should be 0 close. And then I guess it's going to open out to the... Oh, wait. It's going to open out onto the roof, so the other way. So it's going to be 270, which is also known as -90. All right. So that's going to be 0. But the open rotation will be 270. Perfect. And then if we open it... I don't know why it didn't change. Well, let's make sure it works, actually. All right, so the floor sounds aren't perfect. Okay, Rasmin, I'm sorry. Okay, the door is closed. That's good. And then we have... Perfect. I feel like the next thing we should do is like, ugh! I feel like he should make a grunt sound when he lands, right? Also, the gravity feels slow. Like that fall seems really slow. Also, I would like to link these two doors, right? I would like to link these two doors together. I bet I could do that with a tag. What would be a good way to do that? So basically, if one door opens, the other door opens. If one door shuts, the other door shuts. They should be linked together. That should be fairly easy to do. I could do it. All right, let me go to the building. And then scripts in the... There's a drawer mech script, which makes me think there must be... There must be a way to open up drawers, but we're going to have to... Yeah. Okay. How to do this. So this script, from what I understand, is ran this update. See, this is something that's bothering me. I guess it's true though. This is going to run for every door on every update. Again, like what I was talking about, where I was talking about comparisons are not free. Like an if statement is not free. The if statement... I mean, I was going to say the if statement is... I was going to say it's not doing something, but obviously it's doing something. I was going to say even if it looks like it's not doing something, it's doing something. Of course it's doing something. But anyway, the if statement... I mean, the if itself is like a function. You can almost think of it like this is like a function call, right? Like it's like that's almost what it is. I mean, it's kind of exactly what it is, actually. If is basically just... I think it's even implemented like that What language is it? There's a language where it's implemented as a function. I remember seeing this. Oh my God. What language? I want to say Perl, but I'm pretty sure it's not Perl. It might be Perl. Anyway. Hmm. So basically, the naive way to do this would just to be like, okay, if the Boolean has changed and it's changed on a door that has a front door tag, now that I've discovered tags, thanks to Rasman, then I just change all the doors that have that tag, right? Like that's kind of the easiest thing. There has to be an easier way to link these two. No. Okay, let's see if I can do that. I'm going to do this without asking the AI directly what I want to do. How to get the tag. Okay, no. I have a script, door mech, attached to a game object. How can I get the tag of that game object? I feel like a game object should have multiple tags. That's going to bug me because it's I just feel like it should have multiple tags. Okay, so wow, it's just game object tag. Okay, so basically door bool. See, I don't want to set the door bool every single time. I feel like there should be like a change event. Right? I feel like there should be an event when door bool changes. But I don't think there is. Ooh, and like I got to be careful because I can't, because like the way to do it would be like, this is a naive approach. If it would be something like if this tag equals front door, right? Whatever the tag is, then basically in pseudocode, get the other component that has a front door tag. But then that other one will have the same code. And so now you get into this recursive kind of thing. And I feel like that could just explode. So then the other thing you could do is, okay, you tag the left front door with left front door and the right front door with right front door. And then you just kind of, if I'm the left front door, then change the right front door. But if I'm the right front door, oh, but then you still get into the recursive thing because, oh yeah, no. There has to be an easier way to do this. What we can do is we handle the door interaction. Yes, this is where we handle it. Try interact with door. Right here is where this is where we do it. This is how we do it. Okay. So, but, well, wait a minute. Door. So we could just do this a really naive way, right? Instead of having each door, well, wait, no, the door interaction's on the player? Yeah, it's on the player. So when the player, so if, yeah. If target door name equals door, what is it? Entry, right? LOD. Okay, so right here. So what we need to do here is we need to target door. Okay, obviously, no. This will stay the same. Okay, so what we need to do is, let's see if AI can help us here. Get component named door entry LLOD. Come on. Claude 3. Claude is very slow. This is how we do it. Okay. The door left Mac to get component door Mac. Ahaha. Yeah. The see, you can see here that the yeah. And then the AI should be smart enough to the AI is just gone completely nuts. Okay, yeah, let's not trust the AI that much though. That the AI just kind of it's trying to do too much. This is simply just going to be right door. Honestly, this code can be condensed quite a bit. I forget the name of it. This is a common pattern where you have like object A. If it's object A, then change object B. If it's object B, change object A. That pattern has a name, and I can't remember what the name of the pattern is. And then there's a very common way to there's a very common optimization for it that, of course, is skipping, that is completely just blanking right now. So we're just going to work with this. This is a naive approach, but you know what? A naive approach is still an approach, and that's what we will do. All right, here we go. This is how we do it. Okay, so I got to get all the way to the front. I got to go downstairs. Whee! Okay, so will both of these open? Yes! God damn it, I am good. And will both of these close? Yes! Yes! Oh! 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 Good! Oh, man, I fucking rock. All right, let's check that in. Small victories, man. You got to celebrate the small victories. There's a great quote from a Simpsons. There's a great quote from the it's the let me find it. It's the episode. I haven't watched Simpsons in years, but it's the episode. It's one of the best episodes, if not the best episode. The Simpsons Scorpio episode. Simpsons Scorpio. Little things make up life. There's a great quote where like he goes to Scorpio and he's like, I want to quit. And he's like, well, what's wrong with Marge? And he's like, well, there's nothing really wrong. It's just a little thing. And he's like, you can't argue with little things. You can't argue with little things. It's the little things that make up life. I wonder if this will get a copyright strike. Well, we'll see. So good. Homer's all sad, oblivious to what's going on.
You got a problem, Hank.
Oh, gee, Homer, could wait a sec, please?
Well, it's pretty important.
Well, the government always bringing down the small...
Trouble with the government.
Oh, those jerks always walking over the small businessman. Don't get me started about the government.
What's the problem?
Well, my family wants to move back to Springfield.
Let him go. You'll stay here with me. We'll go bowling. What's bothering him?
Nothing big. It's just a lot of little things.
Well, you can't argue with the little things. It's the little things that make up life.
That's what I was thinking of. You got to celebrate the small victories. It's the small victories that make up life, or make up a program at least. All right. So did I check that code in? Yes, I think. Oh no, wait, I haven't committed it. Front doors open and close together. All right. Look at that. We have made some good progress tonight. I think we've made some good progress overall. I was thinking about like I was thinking about like how like okay, I mean this is all great and everything, but what like where are we going? Like I mean I know what the game is supposed to be, but what do I want to do as the next steps? And I was thinking like okay, so maybe I need to have like AI guys. Okay, let me open this. I need to have AI guys start somewhere out on the board and make their way in. So I would have to figure out. We can figure out like Oh no, I'm sorry. We can figure out animation later. Like right now, the character, I mean, the player is just a capsule, and I think I'm fine now for now. If the AI is capsules and like any other characters we need, we'll just have capsules for now. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. What do you think, Rasman? Is that a good idea? I mean, capsules just for like a proof of concept kind of thing. Let's see. And then does this still work? Can we still die? Yep, we still die. And then here we go. Yeah, back here. But what I was thinking was, so we would have the AI, we would have AI guys start at some, here, let me stop. Excuse me. We would have AI people start from somewhere on the map and come towards the players. So they would have to have, I would want it so that they kind of start at random spots, and then they would have to use pathfinding to make their way to the player. So you would need, and then you would need a simple state machine to have the players attack, or I'm sorry, to have the NPCs attack the player. And I know that there's like an entire like state machine mechanism built into Unity, which I find kind of weird because a state machine is something that's very simple and basic to build and code. But maybe there's some nice things to do it. Like I don't know. I haven't used it, so I'm sure there's a good reason for it. I hope. So it would be nice to learn like the basics of pathfinding. Like does Unity offer any type of like built-in pathfinding? Like the thing that I find a little challenging would be the pathfinding going up and down the levels in the apartment, but I don't know if there is something that's built in. Maybe that's not a big deal. If you go to my repo, the game is not completed. We're using AI paths. So, but that's pathfinding. Like pathfinding is a type of AI, right? Pathfinding, that is a type of artificial intelligence, and there's all kinds of different methods. I remember I think there's Jirska's algorithm, and then there's breadth first. Those are the two I remember. I know there's others. I don't remember. I think breadth first is just kind of you just from where you are, where you need to get. You just try try all paths, and whichever one, or you try. I'm sorry, you want to go the next one that's closest. It's been years. I had to write a very simple game a long time ago, and I don't think I used breadth first. I think I used Jirska's algorithm, because the problem with breadth first, I think breadth first, if you have to go like around a corner, breadth first might get you stuck in a corner, or it might take a long way, where Jirska's algorithm is more direct. I'd have to look it up. And I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Jirska? Pathfinding. Jirska's algorithm. Jirska's algorithm is an algorithm for finding the shortest path between nodes in a weighted graph, which may represent, for example, a road network, which is conceived by Edgar Jirska. Player question mark. Fine. Let me see. Okay, so let's see. So Razman pasted some code. Let's take a look at it. Game object, find game object with tag. Okay. Oh, okay. Transform. Okay, so you get the transform of the player. Oh, I love this C# syntax. I do. It took me a minute because I was like, player question. I was like, what? But then I was like, oh yeah, I remember because this is like that built-in like null or value. Oh, I love that syntax. I wish C++ would get this syntax. Like I wish C++. Yeah. I really like that syntax. It's a nice shortcut. But how does it play nice with the ternary operator? Like, it seems like there might be issues with the ternary operator in that syntax. I mean, I'm sure C# has figured it out because there is a ternary operator there. I think there is. I'm pretty sure there is a ternary operator in C#. Let me ask Grok. Is there a ternary operator in C#? I don't think I spelled ternary wrong. Yes, C# has a it's with an A. Ternary operator. Okay. So I'm curious to see how the ternary operator and this operator, whatever it's called, plays together. It seems like there might be like I would imagine that the C++ committee would probably reject it, but I don't see why. No. Anyway, I'm getting completely distracted. So this player. So I guess what this I'm fixated on the syntax because this is like syntactic sugar of that C# provides. So let's see. So this is saying. What's interesting about this is it's saying if it's null, then ignore everything after this dot. That's interesting. And so this player, is this saying, is this question equals, is that saying if this is null, then don't change the value of player? Is that what that's saying? Like, what is that shortcut? I'm just curious. Rewrite this code with if statements. I'm getting completely sidetracked, but I'm just this syntactic sugar of C#. Like I'm just it gets me excited. Okay, so yeah, so I was right. I was absolutely right, like I usually am because I'm a genius. Player only changes if the value is null. That's pretty cool. That is nice syntax. I like it a lot. Okay, but let's get back to being focused. Oh God, don't tell me you're actually putting code like what you pasted. Maybe you know what? I'm gonna assume you're not. I'm gonna assume it's just what YouTube just made it. Okay, so player agent get component nav mesh agent player position equals player position, and then you have something update agent dot destination equals player position. Okay. But is the agent just automatically Rasmus says also my professor was shocked about it, about the syntax. I mean, it's nice. It's very nice. Like this question equals. I feel like that could probably be put in C++ without major. So one thing you have to understand about C++. So C# has been around for 20 years, right? 25. I think it came out in 2001, something like that. But it's been around a long time, like 20, 25 years. But I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think C#, they have breaking changes, right? Like if you wrote something in 2008 in C#, it may not actually, you may not be able to compile it with a modern day compiler of C#. You might have to rewrite some of your code because the old code isn't valid code in modern day C#. I think that's right. Is C# backwards compatible? For example, is code written in 2004, guaranteed, a word I always misspell. I just misspelled it. Guaranteed to compile with a 2025 compiler. I don't think it is. C# is largely backwards compatible, but it's not absolute guaranteed that code written in 2004 will compile flawlessly with 2005 compiler without any adjustments. So, and that's the thing. So there are breaking changes in modern C++, in C# compilers, right? That you will have cases where there are breaking code changes in the way the language constructs work. In C++, they are religiously backwards compatible. In C++, it like I said, there's no other way to put it. They are religiously backwards compatible with C++. So code written in 1995 is guaranteed with a C++ compliant compiler. Code written in 1990. Let's stick with what you got. This is a very important caveat. Code written in pure C++ in 1995 will compile guaranteed in 2025, 30 years later. And so that's why sometimes it is very difficult to get changes into the C++ language, because they're always thinking about backwards compatibility. What changes that you make in the language, what is that? How might that break existing code? And yeah, because sometimes you're talking about code that's like written like infrastructure code, right? You're talking about like really old code that's like I think that's one of the things that Elon Musk wants to change is the software that air traffic controllers use, which from my understanding was written in like the 80s and 90s. It's like really, really old code, but it's mission critical. Like that shit cannot fuck up. And that's why, like, well, this has been working. It's been working for 30 years. Why fix it? And it's like, well, you kind of got to bring it up to date. Like, you got to bring it up to date. I saw the question equals syntax in a Elite Code post, and I learned it from there. No, it's nice syntactic sugar. That's what we would call that. That's what we call it in the trade. Syntactic sugar. Because it's exactly that, syntactic sugar, right? It's just it's a nice sweet way to just write something that is because like I asked AI to write it with if statements just to make sure my understanding was correct. So yeah, because it's a common pattern, right? It's a very common pattern to only change this value if the return value I get is not null or something like that, right? Like that's a very common thing to do. So so like I wonder like if you could do like that to like reverse it, or I'm not even sure what that would mean. Because I know you can also do things like when you declare a variable in C#, I think you can do like string name, and I think that means that name might be null. Name is in C++, you would call it an optional. But in C++, you have to you use a class. You use a template optional. You would do something like this in C++, right? That would be kind of the same thing. Anyway, all right. Well, it is about 9 o'clock. I think we have made some good progress. I think the next time I stream, which might be tomorrow, it might be tomorrow morning. I don't expect you to be around, Razmin, but if you are, I would love to have you join me. But I'm probably going to work on this tomorrow. So I think I might stream tomorrow morning. Not guaranteed, but I think it might be worth having. I mean, we could start with just having AI guys just spawn randomly at random points on the terrain. We could start there. And then from there, we start by having them kind of work their way to the player. And then when they get to the player, I don't know what, but not yet, not until we start shooting and stuff like that. But a basic state machine, I think Well, what I just described doesn't even have a state, right? The state is just fixed. It's just find player, go to player. But yeah, I think I mean it's looking. It's kind of starting to look like a game, right? Like you can walk around and open up doors, and it makes it sound like you're walking on gravel when you're going up and down the stairs. Like, I mean, that sounds like a pretty good game if you ask me. So wait, there is also this open drawer. So I guess, you know what? Let me look at that really quick because it sounds, I mean, from the looks of, because there was like that door or that drawer open script. So where's that? See, look, it has that drawer. Oh, wow. Open position, closed position, drawer. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So it looks like you can open drawers, which is pretty cool because now, again, I doubt we're going to end up using this model, but I mean, we could. Why not? Like, for like a version 1 of the game. Because, I mean, the way I see it is like eventually you're going to need a key to get onto the roof. And like that's going to be like one of the things because you're going to start on like the I was thinking like 20 floors, but maybe we'll start with 3 floors. We'll start with 3, but there'll be somebody like on the bottom floor, or like maybe you have to like search in the drawers to find a key to get to the roof, and then you get to the roof, and that's how you get the safety or whatever. But something. But yeah, no, that's pretty cool. All right, guys. Well, Razman, thanks for joining me. Everybody else who stopped by, thanks for joining me as well. Be sure to check out my travel videos, which I will be coming out with a new travel video, I think, on Sunday, as long as my editor gets it to me in time. I haven't heard from him. Like he sent me a rough draft, and then, wait a minute. Why isn't it loading? I tell you, Chrome has gotten terrible. Chrome is just, look at this. Like, Chrome's not even responding. Chrome has gotten awful. Like, look, I can't click on tab. Okay, there we go. There we go. But yeah, no, my editor has not uploaded. But anyway, there'll be a new video, I think, on Sunday morning. So anyway, if I'm not back over the weekend, I will see you on Monday. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.